Hey everybody, welcome to IAM843, a little show where we talk about things happening in the 843 area code. I'm your host Brian, and today I am with Adam over here, who's one of the owners of a really cool company called Two Brothers Woodworks, and they do some amazing stuff here. So the main question is, I mean, you guys do some really cool work here, but how did all this start?
It kind of happened as a fluke. We used to do woodworking back when I was younger, just more traditional, basic kind of woodworking. And then we were doing some stuff at our sawmill in Tennessee, found some really cool pieces, as you've seen in some of the pictures and videos. And it was just like you're cracking open an oyster shell and there's a pearl. You know, it's just like, where'd this come from? And so once you see that and you just want to make it into furniture and stuff that could last generations in people's homes, you know, it's like, you know, my kids are gonna, you know, inherit my stuff. You know, I like that feeling.
So what's the? I know this is a very broad question, but as far as what you guys do, what's the, as I say in other interviews, the Cliff Notes version? What's the condensed version of the process?
So basically, we call it tree to home. You know, we're not out there cutting down trees. We're not, you know, there's no logging services we use. It's all reclaimed stuff. People getting trees down from storms or you know, just old trees that have fallen. It'll go to the sawmill. They'll cut up slabs for us. And then once we get the slabs and they dry, then we just take them and start doing our stuff to it. Whether it's a solid slab table or a mantle, shelving, or we've gotten to Epoxy Fusion.
Yeah, so a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the Epoxy Fusion is, and I call it Epoxy Fusion. I don't know if that's the correct term.
It sounds so scientific.
But it sounds, yeah, because we're fusing epoxy into the wood. So, you know, through various ways that that we've shown, you know, getting the two pieces of wood or one piece of wood and pouring liquid epoxy and creating just really cool creations, encasements, stuff that you would just normally throw that wood out, or people use it as firewood. You take these beautiful pieces of wood that are figured and cracked, and you just make it a whole piece, and it's kind of just that comeback type thing that you see something that's broken come into a whole piece.
You guys do different colors of Epoxy Fusion.
We've gone as crazy as green and purple. Don't do it a lot. Most of our colors are like an ocean blue, you know, darker blacks, and sometimes we've done some pearl whites. You know, it kind of looks like marbling. So it's kind of one of those things that you can kind of be creative and make it art. So I've seen some guy, it wasn't in a table, but it was like epoxy flooring. He did different swirls that made it look like cosmic. So that's kind of our next thing we want to do, where it kind of looks like galaxy shadings.
So it'd be
cosmic epoxy fusion. There you go.
That's awesome.
I like it. Yeah, 3 different things.
So you guys are not originally from here. Why did you? You guys are from where again originally?
Originally, me and my family were from California. Okay. So Southern California. We moved to Tennessee when I was 16, 17, stayed there for so many years, and wanted to open up our wood shop in a place that had good community. People were interested in it, and it was just kind of a new edgy thing, especially for the South, I should say. And so it was something that was like, this is the perfect place to open it. We liked the community, just wanted to be a part of it. So yeah. Just kind of put the notch on the map.
So one other question too I had for you. What are some of the more unique, like, special things you do? Because you guys do more than just tables.
Unlike, you know, there's some woodworkers and stuff that get a niche and stay with it. We basically go from the tree and the piece of wood, and then we figure out what we want to do with it. So versus going into it and forcing the wood to be what we want, we try to kind of work with it. So we've had some pieces that are really curved that look like an old dock we're working on right now that's going to have seashells and barnacles in it because it looks like a rotted out dock. And so stuff like that, kind of figuring what we do. We did a Bible case for like a 400-year-old family Bible. But the whole thing is just whatever people come, they'll come up with the randomest things that I've ever seen. And they'll be like, can you do this out of wood? And then it's just our challenge to make it happen. We're doing, we had someone bring in furniture. It was like 3 different pieces that her dad made for her like 50 years ago for a wedding. And it's just, you know, her dad's passed away. And it's like, she said, I want this made into an epoxy table. So we have to take this wood that's like her most prized possession and cut it up and put it into an epoxy table. So as I'm sitting there cutting with the saw, you're just sitting there going, okay, I hope I don't mess up, you know. And then we never did. I mean, it went perfect, but I mean, you know, yeah, it was good, yeah, no.
And that kind of correlates to my last question for you. I always ask this to everybody. You know, I love what you guys do, but why do you love doing it? What gets you up in the morning?
It's honestly seeing the reaction for people. My whole family's always been, my dad was a police officer, me and my brother were firemen back in Tennessee for a while. So we just like helping people, and so we kind of feel like doing this is another way to fit a vision of theirs that, you know, then you just go to a basic furniture store and buy something that doesn't mean anything. So this one, you get to start from, you know, we get to be in the whole design process with the customer. So it's like, you know, we take your wood and then figure out from there and build the whole table from legs, finish everything up. So it's satisfying to see the process and the customer when you go and deliver the table and they're just, you know, overjoyed by what you got, or you fit a mantle into a home that you know, people are going to put their children's pictures on, you know, something like that, that becomes a part of their family's, you know, history and home, and kids are raised on them and stuff like that. So, you know, that's the why. So
now we're going to jump into an area that you don't want to go to. I call this little segment, Do You Know Your Trees?
Oh, jeez.
All right. And I'm going to pronounce these trees wrong, so forgive me. All right, the first question. Which tree has, in the whole planet, which tree has the hardest wood? A, I'm going to pronounce these wrong, the Lignum vitae. B, the Brazilian olive wood. C, the Australian bullock. Or D, the Piptanium macrocarpa.
I've worked with the Brazilian woods before. I know those are pretty hard woods, but I don't know what the olive wood is. Can you repeat the first one? A?
The Lignum vitae. It's V-I-T-A-E.
Just because I know it, because I don't know the others, and I want to go with a decent, educated answer, I'm going to go with B.
You're going to go with B?
I'm going to go with B.
And you would be incorrect.
Yeah, okay.
It's just because you knew the name of it.
That's right.
Actually, it's C, the Australian bullock.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Do you know how they test the hardness of a tree?
I think it's with pins, but do you know?
This one actually, I got off the internet, so it's probably wrong. They have like a steel ball. They exert pounds of pressure on it, and once it gets halfway through the tree, that's how
pounds per pressure or something. Yeah, so, I was thinking I've seen them before do a peg where they'll put it in there and it measures pressure going in. So I guess the ball's very similar.
So, it takes 5,060 pounds of force to get the ball in.
That's cool.
All right, the tree with the most expensive wood. All right, A, agar wood. B, African blackwood. C, sandalwood. Or D, pink ivory, which I'm
gonna go with the African blackwood.
You are correct.
Hey, all right.
Did you actually know that?
I know it because I've seen it, and I've seen people like I'm gonna say swoon over it because it's hard to. I think it's hard to come by.
Yeah.
And I think it's in somewhat protected areas. I don't know for sure, but I mean, you know, that's what I'm guessing.
It's like $25,000 per cubic meter.
Ooh, that's expensive.
Yeah, they'd use like these are on clarinets, instruments.
Oh yeah, yeah, high quality stuff.
All right, and the final one. So you're one for two, should I say? All right, here we go. It's a tree called Methuselah, the oldest tree on the planet, roughly 4,700 years old. Is what kind of tree? A, a Douglas fir. A B, white elm. C, red oak. Or D, bristlecone pine. How do they know it's 4,700?
Well, the Douglas firs were only a couple thousand years old, so it wouldn't be that old. I knew that one. Yeah, Douglas fir was a Scotsman who planted trees, so I knew that one. Yeah, I was close enough. What was B? I'm sorry.
White elm.
I'm gonna say the white elm. That just sounds right.
Okay. Well.
Shoot.
So you're 1 for 3. The answer is bristlecone pine,
Bristlecone pine. Okay.
There you go.
All right. I know that one though.
So if you could, before we head out, can you look at the camera and tell all the people how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure.
Socials, your phone, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just give the whole slew of it.
Do it.
So we're Two Brothers Woodworks. You can look us up online, www.twobrotherswoodworks.com. We do a lot of social media, mostly Instagram, Facebook. Or you can call us. I try to go old school. Number's 423-608-3721. I like a phone call. I'm a talker. Brian already said it once. So
before the camera's turned on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can get a hold of us that way, or just Google search us. So we appreciate that.
Check them out. Check their sites out. Check their stuff out. It's like I said before, it's really awesome, and yeah, they do great work. So, anyways, guys. Two Brothers WoodWorks, and if you see us around the 843 area code, don't forget to say hello, and we'll see you guys next time.